Hi, everyone. My name is Sandra Fremong. I'm the creator and host of the quiz show, Let's Explore Africa. Africa, the second largest continent and home to over 1 billion people. According to Charles Darwin, it is the cradle of humanity, a place where our collective umbilical cords lies between the Olduvai Gorge in Tanzania and Gauteng in South Africa. Ask anybody, what is Africa? You will hear something like country. Many call it a troubled region, landmass riddled with conflict and home of despots, starvation, or where animal roams freely. What do you know about Africa, I ask? Yes, between 1525 and 1866, slavery robbed Africa of 10 to 15 million of our children who were brought to the Americas, Europe, and Australia. The horror and the lamentation as they passed through the doors of no return in Gorée, Elmina Castle, Lomboko, and the turbulence on Lamis Dar. Those left behind were not spared the indignity of oppression. For in 1884, Chancellor Otto von Bismarck hosted 14 nations and where they decided to split up the abundant resources of the continent and thereby colonize. It would take another 76 years before before they get independence. That did not even come easy because it led to a lot of issues of tribalism, internal conflict, and forced exile. But beyond these stenches, what else do people know about Africa? I have to say that Africa is a gorgeous mosaic occupied by resilient people who served as leaders, oracles, diviners, and warriors. They define cultures and traditions that guide their families and community and tribes and ensure orderly society. They nourish their country's independence and defending laws that protect them to this day. You're talking about hardworking people, people who till the ground, engage in serving and industrial operations and trading. And we can also remember men's living children and their family days on end, working in the belly of the beast, to mine gold and diamonds. People created art and faces like the legendary Queen Idea, and also poetry and terracotta, as much as the city of Timbuktu, things that they needed to survive and thrive. And a lot of mosques also within the Maghreb in North Africa. Your understanding of this continent should go beyond the movie Out of Africa. Some of the remarkable endeavors that are represented in this continent include space projects in Egypt, Ethiopia, and Algeria. And don't forget Things Fall Apart, a popular novel, and also the vaccination method relayed in 1721 by Onesimus. In terms of development, as civilized community, they develop their own national symbols, such as currencies, flags, cultural ethos, with underlying messages and and things that help them in unifying emotional appeals. Come and see the landmark featuring the African Renaissance, the Blue Pearl of Morocco, that's the city of Shushan, Neto in Angola, and Matai in Ouagadougou, as much as in the Swahili architecture. Pause a bit to appreciate the breathtaking Victoria Falls, the great beach migration that occurs between Tanzania and the Serengeti Plains, between Masai Mara, and observe the big five wildlife at Kruger National Park. Of course, you want to see the pyramid naturally. On fashion, those are not pieces of clothing. They're styles that design, identify tribes, and explain family history. So pick a kente or try on an ishikolo, the headgear, Kenyan hairpiece, so agbada ileke or iro and buba, and a lot of other artifacts that you can have in terms of fashion. There's nothing that is as pleasing as trying African dishes, and what better way to explore a culture if not through its food? So savor the dishes with selections telling stories about national origin and choices of ingredients like inyo, injera, and also when you're done eating, what's life when it's all work and no play? African relish fun time and reflect on dances for rituals and festivals and events. So relax and watch soccer or engage in playing Ayo with families and friends. Go. It's remarkable that despite all the wars and never-ending plebiscites that Mother Africa has to endure, it has produced personalities such as Mandela, Lupita Nyong'o, Wangai Matari, Makiba, Angelique Jo, just to name a few. And also, I would be remiss to not acknowledge the descendants of our brothers and sisters who were taken from the shores a long time ago. That is, personalities such as Maya Angelou, Oprah, Frederick Douglass, Chadwick Boseman, and Mae Jemison. I will also be damned if I exclude those who may not look like Africans, but they draw their first birth from the continent. And I'm talking about people like Johnny Clegg, okay, who is considered white Zulu, as well as Nadine Godima and Ison Laurent. And to follow what Bob Marley said, he said, please do not forget your history, know your destiny. So I appreciated the opportunity to salute Africa through education and in most cases through the competition that I host along. And on that note, I invite every one of you to please join and take the challenge and compete in Let's Explore Africa, the future of tradition and the continent that God held in reserve. Thank you.
Great, Joe. That's good.